You know, I really do wonder where the Vancouver Canucks are ultimately going to go this season, and like what position the management is going to be in. Like, what route are they going to take? Are they going to take the okay, we're kind of maybe middling team and then trade off, or are they going to go all out to try to make the playoffs no matter what? To try to keep Quinn Hughes, right? Because you got to have a good season. Now, they're having kind of a middling season, but they could just get hot. And it's going to be really interesting to see what exactly does this franchise do. And honestly, we do have some really, really interesting trade rumors around them. A couple of players the Vancouver Canucks apparently are getting calls on and possibly could move. But welcome back to Pixel Plus Hockey. If you could make sure to hit that subscribe button, it would be so greatly appreciated. And thank you so much to those that are already supporting me as well. It is very humbling. Because here's the thing, we do now know that there are rumors of a rebuild that we've been hearing rumbles, and apparently teams are now going to be calling on some of the Vancouver Canucks players. And with Elias Pettersson and all of this stuff happening around the Vancouver Canucks, and they're having a middling season, how do you go about this? It's one of the most difficult things in sports when you have a team that is not all the way in. Do you understand what I mean? They're not a terrible team, but they're not like the best team, and they could maybe make the playoffs. It's almost like in the mushy middle, and you have your first round pick, but it's going to end up being a mid first round pick. Although, to be fair, you can get a bunch of really good players. They got Coots in the middle of the first round. There's tons of great players that have been picked there, but you are in the mushy middle where it is harder to get elite talent, and it's like, where exactly do you go? And the article we're going to be reading off today is NHL teams reportedly calling the Vancouver Canucks about Garland as trade rumors and rebuilds continue, close quote. And they're also talking about some other players the Vancouver Canucks are apparently possibly going to consider moving on from. And it does look like they are taking on the Winnipeg Jets tonight. And good news is that Demko is back tonight, which is really, really great, especially for my fantasy team. And he's had a really good start, and it looks like they're managing him properly. But here's the thing. If they want to move on from Garland, I'm not really sure if that's a good decision. I think I kind of like Garland. Like, he's a pretty good player. Like, he's an American. Let's not forget that the Vancouver Canucks are pretty good at keeping Americans around. They've actually done a pretty darn good job of it. And I mean, I don't know, man. Garland is good. Like, I don't get it. Like, he's had a really good start to the season, too. 12 points in 14 games. He's consistently a 50-point guy, and he has the potential to even do better than that offensively. Like, I don't know why they would trade him. It's not like he's a bad player. He's 29 years old. But perhaps they just want to go full-on rebuild. And let's not forget that Connor Garland's a player that just signed for $6 million times 6 years. Like, boy, oh boy, if they move him, I mean, I don't know about that. I just don't know if it would be that smart, but maybe they just do want to go full-on rebuild. And here we have the quote. Dollywall, if they have a tough stretch in the next 7 games, teams are going to start calling on Sherwood and Garland, close quote. Now, I will say one thing about Sherwood. When it comes to Sherwood, it actually kind of makes sense to me. I don't know about you guys, but I think that really, really makes sense. Because here's the thing. We're hearing rumors from Pagnotta of $5 million plus for Sherwood. And while I do like Sherwood, he doesn't have the consistent offensive numbers of a Connor Garland. Right? Connor Garland's a legitly pretty consistent, second line, secondary offense producer. So $6 million, while it might have seemed a little bit high, you can kind of wrap your head around it a little bit. When it comes to Sherwood, yes, I mean, trust me, he's scoring a lot of goals, but let's not forget, his shooting percentage is quite high right now, and that will come down. When it comes to Sherwood, I would consider him if he was within the $4 million. You know what? We'll do question of the video right now. When we talk about Sherwood, what would you be willing to give him? If it's within the $4 million range, I would certainly consider it. But I have a philosophy of players that are like this, where they're not solidified top 6 players, and I don't think Sherwood is necessarily solidified yet. I would hustle them. You got to get these guys outperforming their contract, right? If you don't have them outperforming their contracts, you are cooked. So it is no stranger as to why apparently Sherwood and the Vancouver Canucks are at a contract stalemate right now, which was recently reported. What's so surprising about this is Rick Dollywall even mentioning Connor Garland's name. Now let's try to use our logic as to why they might consider moving Garland. If he is able to produce this well in a top 6 role, around a point per game, you might be able to make an argument that it might actually not be that bad to move him depending on what you get back, right? If you get a really, really good return, that could help you with your rebuild. But man, what a weird situation that would be, because that's essentially resigning yourself that Quinn Hughes is definitely going to leave, and you're kind of resigning yourself to a complete breakdown of your roster at that point. But going away from this, when we talk about the Vancouver Canucks younger players, I wouldn't trade that at all. I really do kind of view their younger players as not necessarily untouchable, but like it's just you know, hands off Coots, hands off these guys. Mancini, I like Mancini. I think they got a good player there. You know, you just gotta, you know, you might have to start planning for what it's going to look like after Quinn Hughes, if he does end up leaving, of course. Because I predicted that they have a chance of keeping Quinn Hughes ultimately, but the reason that I said that was if they have a good season. I thought that this season was going to be really important for the Vancouver Canucks. Like if they prove that, hey, no, like we're a really, really good team, like that's it, we're a really good team, we're a playoff team, I think you can actually convince Quinn Hughes to stay. I don't think it's that outrageous. The problem is they are having a middling season right now. You know, one more thing, when it comes to Kiefer Sherwood, here's the thing. If you want to sign Kiefer Sherwood and keep him around, the one thing that I would do for Vancouver is I would give him a solidified top 6 role completely. You know, I would talk to the coaching and I would try to get him in the top 6. Because here's the thing, let's say he wants, I don't know, 5.25 times 4 or something like that. That's probably what he's asking for around there. You have to know whether this guy is a solidified top 6 producer. So you need to put him in games, you need to put him with talented players, and you need to say, what is this player? Because if you're giving him that money, you need him to produce. You can't just say, nah, you know, whatever. He needs to produce, I don't know, 20, 25 goals, 50 points every single season. That's a decent amount of cash. And if he can do that, then he can prove that he is, you know, that type of offensive player. But I don't know, guys. I'm not going to lie. When we talk about Kiefer Sherwood, I'm a little bit nervous about this player. I'm a little bit nervous about giving him that much money because I'm just so confused about the way that the Vancouver Canucks should go right now. Should they just go full-on rebuild? Should they do a retool? I think if Quinn Hughes leaves, that they're in a real pickle. They might even want to start sitting Quinn Hughes down if they, you know, sputter and are a mediocre team. They might want to sit him down and say, hey, listen, you know, it might be best to move on, right? And just kind of recoup assets for this player if he's going to leave anyway. You know, you kind of have to try to do what's best for the Vancouver Canucks long term anyway. Anyways, guys, I am going to leave this video here. If you could make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it, guys. And make sure to have a great day. Goodbye, guys.